GP, it is great to have you here.
Yeah.
All right, I got to talk to Matisse the other day. He said I asked him, who's the coolest guy that you've talked to that have talked to you about your game or what Washington is doing or the Steel's record? He said, well, I've talked to Gary Payton a little bit. He's knocking on the door. He probably, in all likelihood, with one more game, one more half of basketball, is going to take your record. How impressed are you with what he's done on the floor?
Well, with his defensive end is how long he is, and then they play a zone, and way he is long, he has a knack for the game, a knack for the ball. So anywhere it goes, he's always with his hands moving, and he does a great job at that. And then if you go by him, he's always pursuing the basketball.
He
never gives up, and he puts his hands on every ball. So that's where you can be good. And my coach at Oregon State, Ralph Miller, said when you get good hands and feet, you're going to be a great defensive player, and that's what he has.
How many steals would you have had if you had a 7-foot wingspan, GP? That's what I want to know.
I would have had more than 321.
You would have.
Well,
yeah.
And so, but one thing I want to talk about is the difference. Like, you played a lot more man defense. So a lot of your steals were shooting the gap. A lot of your steals were someone just trying to bring the ball up the floor and you just take him. What do you think the difference is, the skill set of playing a one-on-one defense and having those steals and then doing it through a zone and him being at the top?
Well, I think it's a little bit more easier during the zone.
Agreed.
Because he's there and they're throwing passes, and he's really anticipating all the passes and stuff like that. When you're playing somebody one-on-one and you're playing D and hawking them from end to end and then ripping them, I think that's a little bit more harder than what it is now. But they play a lot of zone. That's what it is now. And he's getting a lot of more steals. I don't have anything against him about that, but that's the way it is. It's a different game.
Do you think Matisse Thybulle's game translates well to the NBA? Be curious to get your opinion on that.
Well, it's going to be a little different because it's going to be more open. He's not going to be able to play zone, but like I said, he has a gift for being a knack for the basketball. And when he has a gift like that, he can get around and he can get steals and do things. I don't think it's going to change. I think it's going to open his game up more. It's going to open him up more. He's going to be more in transition, and then he can play the passing lanes and he can do things. But what's the big thing for him is he's so long.
Yes.
And he's so big, and he's got a gift, and he's really special.
So there's a couple. So he broke Jason Kidd's record. Then he's on pace to get yours. When you see him, do you consider him in the same class as you guys? Because I remember coming home and talking to my Arizona coaches and saying, hey, Jason Kidd's amazing. I was like, well, who was it that played against him? Like, well, Damon Stoudemire and Khalid, and they just really couldn't get the ball up the floor against him. Do you think he's in the same class defensively as you and Jason?
Yes, of course. Yes, he is. And I think what I'm trying to tell you guys is when he gets to the pros, see, they're going to open it up more for him. Yeah. They're going to make him play on man-to-man basketball.
A lot more man-to-man.
And he's going to play a lot more basketball like that, and then it's going to really, really expand his game.
Yeah.
Right now, they got him in a zone, which is great. But when he's get to the next level, they're going to put him on an island and see what he can do, and I think he's going to pass that test.
Yeah, I think so too.
GP, it's a family affair when it comes to defensive players in your family. Your son was a great star at Oregon State. He was the Defensive Player of the Year just a couple years ago, battling actually Matisse Thybulle in that role. What's he up to right now?
Well, he's in the G League, and he's played for the Houston team.
Yeah.
I think the Washington Wizards want him right now. I think next year is going to be his year. I think that he's been in the league for 3 years now. He's been in that role of going up and down. I think he's really established what he has established now. So I think, next year it'll be his year, and I hope so.
All right. Well, Matisse Thybulle just showed up to the party. Congratulations, Matisse,
do I need
on
to
the
sit
win.
in between these guys for throwing going to break his record now?
I just want to say this. I want to start off, and you made me stand up when you had the guts to go and do a windmill dunk with 30 seconds to go.
You
GP,
missed that one like Noah Dickerson missed his dunk. You'd have been out of there.
There wasn't a lot of things I did well, but I could dunk. So I have a lot of respect for anybody that's willing to go out there. And look, he's looking. This is how we're going to end. This is how we're going to end the game and then flex on him. Flex on him. What was you thinking in that moment? Like, you know what?
You weren't thinking.
You was like, no. That's impressive.
Something took over. I was frustrated. I was mad. They kept hitting shots, and I mean Benny and Matthews, they were playing great. They hit some tough shots, so I wanted to get a little emphasis at the end to kind of let them know that this is going to be our game.
Matisse, I know you're not a guy that tracks the numbers, but it is back-to-back years now, Defensive Player of the Year. Today, I don't know if you're aware, but Jason Kidd is single-season record. You have now surpassed that record at this point, and you are one away from the man who's sitting right next to you.
Yeah, give him a hug. Give him a hug.
What does it mean
30
to
years
you?
is a long time to hold a record.
It is,
Well,
which is
it's
awesome.
nice. If he breaks it, it's a person that I want to break it is him or my son. So it doesn't matter. Records are meant to be broken. So I'm happy it's him.
Matisse, what's it like, though, to be in the same conversation as two of the all-time great players ever to play, not only in the conference, but basketball in general, and Jason Kidd and GP?
I mean, it's kind of crazy. Like, not a lot of kids really think that. I mean, a lot of kids dream that they'll get to this place, and I mean, not a lot of people really get there. So to be here is kind of. It's mind-boggling. Like, how do you wrap your mind around sitting next to Gary Payton, looking at him, knowing that I'm a couple steals away from breaking his record? Because, I mean, coming into the season, you look at those kind of numbers, and they look untouchable. So it's pretty exciting.
Yeah.
You're touching them. Did you expect the fight that USC brought to you guys? I mean, you guys are the #1 seed. You are the favorite, but you haven't played your best basketball lately. Did you feel from the start that this was going to be a dogfight?
Oh, yeah.
Pun intended?
Oh, yeah. No, I mean, we knew that coming into every game now, people are going to give us their best shot. And we knew after that USC game at our place that they're going to be ready to come back and get us. So we knew from the jump, and we were ready. So they brought it to us. We're happy we come out with the W.
So my thing about your guys' team is on the offensive end. On the offensive end, if you guys play well on the offensive end and then you mix in that amazing defense that you guys have been known for all season, that's when you guys – I'm not talking about this tournament. I'm talking about the big dance, right? We're talking about the NCAA tournament. Do you feel that if you guys are locked in, you can make the type of run that I expect you guys to make, but it's more, I think, more on the offensive end?
Yeah, no, if we can get more consistent output from guys on the offensive end, myself included, we had guys step up today, which was huge for us. But I think once we come tournament time, not a lot of people are used to playing against this zone.
Yeah.
And I think it's going to cause a lot of problems. And unless you played against it, you really don't know what to expect.
Yeah.
Gary, I think it's interesting because earlier on the pregame we had Don McClain on. And he was talking about his conversation with Mike Hopkins, and he said, "Not worried about the offense right now. We just need to lock down on defense. That will help." When you were playing and you were so dominant on that side of the floor, could you feel like when there was a strong defensive effort like we've seen from Matisse and his teammates that the offense just started to roll a little bit more?
Well, what he does is that when he gets steals, he gets some easy baskets, and that was my mentality, always to get easy baskets. We can get layups and don't have to set up our offense and do things like that. It makes the game go, and then it gets everybody pumped. Everybody gets pumped when you get easy baskets, and then the offense starts to flow. And once he does that, and he creates the defense and get easy buckets, it makes his teammates think even better.
Yeah, no, even with playing with Jason Kidd, who you were his mentor, and so with Jason, the minute there was like a transition or a minute of steal, we were gone.
Right.
Like I didn't
Absolutely.
know. Like I saw a scrum, and you were one of the few people, you two and Jason. The minute I saw a scrum happening, I would take off, knowing that because the hands, the anticipation, just the strength is just able to get out. That's what you're talking about on the transition. Do you feel like it is very, very important, like those steals? Do you think that helps your team on the offensive end?
It's huge. I mean, it's like a sucker punch, and I've seen it with my guys. They almost anticipate me anticipating a steal. So like I'm getting a steal, and before I even have the ball, I look up and there's a guy right off the three-point line. And like he said, it's tough to watch when you're on offense. Watch a guy get a steal and just an easy bucket.
Yeah, Jason Kidd used to do that. That's why my kids are in private school right now because that's how I make
Let's not go down this private school.
That's why I can afford to send my kids to private school. I used to do the same thing. I would see Jason Kidd going for a steal, and then I would just take off. So you were right.
Gary, you got your Beavs to the NCAA tournament in 1990. Is that right?
Right.
Matisse, you've been at Washington now for 4 years. You haven't played in the NCAA tournament. And I don't want to get too far ahead because you guys have a couple more games here in the Pac-12 tournament. But I think today's win makes you guys a lock, in my opinion. What would it mean for you to finally, your senior year, lead the Dogs back to the big dance?
I mean, I know for me and all the seniors, it's been 4 years, and we've come close and we've come really short. And to know that we've been able to put in the work and stick it out for this long, and know that we got such a good chance, it's pretty great. We're ready to get after it.
Yeah,
Awesome.
it's been awesome watching you guys all season long. Gary, appreciate you giving us a couple minutes. Go
No problem.
Beavs, they're coming up
Yeah.
here.
Yeah, they're coming up next.
I know you want to get
Yeah,
back
let's
inside.
Yeah, I hope we can get them next to tomorrow. And tomorrow to be great. Yeah.
No matter what happens, you guys are more than welcome to come back tomorrow. We can relive some of the moments from that game. But once again, best of luck to you and appreciate you stopping by with us.
Thank you.
By the way, there is more conversation on the next
Always,
game that
always.
is around the corner.